What's up, folks? It's Dan here from BeGameCharacter.com, where we turn games into games, and today we're going to talk about the basics of fighting and self-defense. Now, I am not a fan of teaching martial arts through videos and books. I know that some people learn quite a bit that way, but I think there's a lot to be said for having an instructor in person with you, live practice that can take place. But with all of that said, for a lot of people, practical self-defense instructors are not an option for various reasons either. There's nobody that's really a practical instructor in your area, or you don't have money, or whatever. So this is kind of going to be a video series on how to fight when you have to without the formalities of learning a martial art, okay? Because, again, not a fan of teaching martial arts over the internet, but I will teach you how to fight as best I can, because I think it's something that everybody should know. Particularly women and minorities, people who are at higher risk of being attacked and or encountering some sort of assault type situation. So for today, we're going to go over just the very basics of how to deal with someone who is being aggressive with you, who hasn't actually taken you to the ground or whatever. Groundwork is something else entirely. So basically, this is kind of the intro stuff that we teach all of our martial arts students. And the first thing that you always want to do is create space. So we're going to pretend that this punching bag is our aggressive assailant person who's about to start something with us, okay? You can generally tell when a fight's about to start because someone is getting really loud and angry and in your face about stuff. They may have already made physical contact, like some kind of shove or something like that, something along those lines. They're saying bad things about you or your mother, kind of a thing, whatever. So the first thing that you do is, generally speaking, when somebody's about to start a fight with you, they'll be really close like this. All right. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to create space. Okay. So you want to step back, and notice when I step back on a slight angle. I turn my body a little bit. Notice that my feet are still kind of straight ahead, but they're on a slight angle. My weight is on my toes. Okay. And the first thing that I do is I put my hands up, not in like a boxing type guard, because I don't necessarily know this is a fight yet. Okay. I put my hands up like this. It's a very de-escalating type of pose. It's the idea of I don't want a fight to happen if I can avoid it, but by getting your hands up in front of you and turning your palms away, you are also making sure that you're ready to defend yourself if you need to, which we'll talk about in a second. But so the first thing that I'm going to do is, if this guy's starting trouble with me, I'm going to step back and say, whoa, listen, I don't want any trouble. I don't want to have a hard time, right? Let's just let this go and move on. Notice I'm talking, keep my hands up, open, available. Looks as though I'm just being like, yo, calm down, buddy, it's okay. It's okay, I don't want to fight. But from here, the advantage is now I am in an athletic stance. I have my body turned slightly, so I'm a smaller target. Okay, I have my hands up, so I'm ready to defend myself if I need to. And the other thing that's important is I want to put my chin down a little bit and my head back a little bit. I want to be like standing straight, like, hey buddy, easy, I don't want any trouble. This is a bad thing to do. Notice how my back is arched, notice how my head is up. Some people may default to this when they're trying to not have a fight, all right? Instead, what you want to do is you want to step back, notice my body comes a little bit inward. I got my chin tucked down a little, got my head up. I say, listen buddy, I don't want any trouble, all right? This is still a non-threatening posture. However, you're much better able to receive threats if you're like this, okay? I'm not making fists. I'm not putting my head down, getting ready to square up and go. I can if I need to from here. So this is a very basic position. From here, if somebody were to throw a punch, all right, I can relatively easily, I mean, this depends on the level of practice, but I can knock it to the side and turn my body away a little bit. I can move it and step out of the way of that strike. If somebody comes in with a shove, I can rather easily go boom and bust those hands off of myself like so, onto an angle, whoosh, knock those hands away. Okay? If somebody comes in for some sort of grab or clinch, I can very easily put my hands up on their shoulders and make that space and get away again. Okay? Any of those things, if somebody even goes in for a double leg takedown, I can very easily, or even a single if they're a wrestler or something like that, I can go for a sprawl from here. I can step back and sprawl, all right? All of these are more advanced maneuvers that I would really need a partner to properly demonstrate, but it's just to give you an idea of the versatility of what I call the self-defense guard, all right? Also from here, I can very easily counterattack. Now, if you know how to throw a punch properly, you should throw a punch. But it's not always the best option, even from here, okay? So let's envision this person is ideally the same size as me, okay? So this is their head right here. say this person throws a punch, all right? Or they throw a couple of punches. I'm going to slip to the side like this, knock down whatever that strike might be if they're throwing one at a time. Or if they're throwing a bunch, I'm going to slip to the side and kind of shove the person like that, okay? You say, get away. No, 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 easy, 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 all right? And if they keep coming at me, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to slip, and then you come up here and jam the hand right into the face, okay? A lot of people will say, don't strike up here on the nose because it's a lethal shot. Hollywood movie myth, not a lethal shot. Really, 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 really good for ending a fight quickly though, okay? If you hit somebody right here on their nose with an upward strike with the upper hand, all right, the nose will break, blood will go everywhere, eyes will water like crazy, the head will snap back, they might get a mild concussion, all right? There's lots of things that will happen if you do that to a person, and look at how easy it was to slip from that, okay? All I did was I stepped to the side, there's slipping the punch, okay? Notice I still have this stance, my knees are kind of bent, all right? I've got my hips turned back. Notice as I parried to the side here, I slip back, and then this hand comes all the way back here. And I'm not coming in with a slap, okay? I'm turning my hand back, and it's going as hard as I can right into their face, okay? And it doesn't matter, I know to talk about the bridge of the nose, it doesn't matter where you get them. If you get somebody in the forehead, like this as hard as you can, similar effect. If you get somebody in the chin, as hard as you can, boom. If you just moosh your hand in their face, all right? It's going to hurt, it's going to be disorienting, they're not going to know what the heck is going on, and it's going to get you a moment to do other stuff, okay? So, again, let's bring this back. We're here, I don't want any trouble, man. That's our first step, okay? Again, notice I am facing forward. I've got a forward motion here, okay? I am controlling the momentum of the fight here, not this person, okay? So, let's say you stun them, all right? They're a little rocked. You have choices now. My general advice would be if this person's throwing strikes at you, you want to end the fight, okay? However, if you think you've disoriented this person enough to be able to get away, you can just do this, boom, and then turn and go, all right? That's not a bad option. Me personally, I would make sure this person is definitely not going to chase me. So you come in here with this, boom, and then if you have the know-how or experience, you can very easily come into a clinch of some kind and take the person down, okay? Or, if you don't, if you'd rather just hit the person, you can keep boom, and then you just go boom, 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 up to the head over and over and over again. You hit somebody in the head enough times like that, they're going to go down. And notice again, I'm not throwing punches. And you might say, why? Dan, you're a karate guy. Why are you not punching? Because hitting somebody in the head with closed fists, even if you know how to do it properly, is going to end up bruising, breaking, and or otherwise injuring your hands. Okay? There's a reason why MMA guys and why boxing guys wear gloves. On one hand, yes, to extend the length of the fight. On the other hand, to try and preserve the knuckles. Because guess what? If you hit somebody on the forehead with your hand as hard as you can, it's going to hurt you almost as much as it hurts them. Okay? I don't know what's happening here. I don't know if this person has a friend. I don't know if this person is unreasonably durable. I don't know if this person has been, on any sort of extracurricular chemicals that may be altering their pain tolerances. I don't want to stand a chance of injuring myself before I have a chance to end the fight. So if I'm coming here, I'm going to throw open hand strikes, basically almost exclusively to the face, if I can. We're assuming, again, that I get that first strike in. But even if I don't, throwing multiple strikes to the head region, even if they get their hands up to defend, unless they're very experienced, it's going to be really disorienting. And on top of that, if you're going straight from disarming, I don't want to hurt you, to I'm going to shove my hand into your head, all right, there's a level of shock there that they won't necessarily be expecting. So you come in hard, boom, for the head, boom, 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 and follow up. If you have to do more after that, you can, but you might not have to, all right? The other thing that works really, really well in a situation like this, all right, and this is where you might feel a little silly, but it works really well, is as you're doing this, scream like a maniac. Like, as you're doing this, I don't want trouble, I don't want trouble, easy, easy, man. He throws that punch, ah! All right? Scream like a freaking maniac. Just scream as you're pummeling this person in the face, because it is the most disorienting thing you can think of. Imagine if you're squaring off against some maniac or whatever, and all of a sudden they just come at you and they're yelling at the top of their lungs and they are pounding your face in with their open hands, okay? It's not a pleasant experience for them, and that's what you want. So that is kind of the basis of self-defense that we start with. at least here in my classes in my dojo, that's what I start with is, yes, there are all kinds of fancy, fancy schmancy combinations and twisty things and grab the wrist and control and twist them around here and do that and then you do this strike and then you do that strike. But in the end, the easiest way to engage in and gain an upper hand in a fight is to hit somebody in the freaking face, alright? So that's where we're going to stop for today. Your basic ideas that you're going off of here is, first of all, a good fighting guard. Now, if we're actually fighting, yes, fists, but if we're in a self-defense situation, we're trying to keep a fight from happening, you're going to stand, again, you're here, you make your space, whoa, easy buddy, I don't want any trouble. Weight forward, on toes, tight tummy, chin tucked, hands up, palms open, trying to still de-escalate. I don't want any trouble, man, easy, calm down. They throw something, you get out of the way, strike as hard as you possibly can, right in the face with that open hand, and if necessary, follow up, all right? It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be, Kung Fu movie hour. It doesn't have to be anything kind of fancy like that. The idea is just disorient and then get away. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this very, very basic intro. We will talk about other things in the future along this line if you guys like this video. If you don't like it, if it doesn't get views, then maybe we won't cover this again. So if you like this video, please comment below. If you want me to do more stuff like this, please comment below, let me know. And if you really want me to do it, make sure lots of people see it by sharing it. So thank you for watching. As always, remember to live boldly, change the world, and continue to be awesome. Bye-bye.
Listen.